about the mystery on it. It was just a generalized citizen who tried to do something that was associated with the type of corruption that was involved. And I was able to point things out that... I'm
gonna go record this guy running my license plate. (212) officer. The pig is talking to one cop. This guy's trying to be slick and running my plate. (7452). We are in Elkhart County. They wouldn't let the pig in to jail. I went into court with Kim. Then they had me leave to take the pig off the property, but they stopped him before he could get off the property because he was walking, so I could stay. And now this idiot wants to run my license plate because he thinks he's cool.
No, you're fine.
What's this guy's name? Do you know?
How you doing? I'm Joe.
Jeremy.
Nice to meet you guys.
What's this guy's name?
Who?
Canine guy that thinks he's slick running my plate.
Oh, Was.
Huh?
Was.
Was.
Yeah.
I know.
That's fine. We can run plates. That's fine.
No, I know that.
Where'd you get your fuzzy handcuffs?
Well, actually, I don't really prefer these. These aren't big enough. I need the really thick ones. And I just ordered them online. I should have went down to like the local sex toy shop and got the really
Were they a
fuzzy.
package deal with a $100 flag?
No.
All right, man. Well, do me a favor. Be safe. Stay warm. Next time, bring some handlers, all right?
Yeah, I know. All right, you have a good day, man.
So what'd he stop you for?
He just came up to see what I was doing because they called him out here before he talked to me.
He never
And I
detained you?
wasn't leaving. Hey, can I ask you a question? Yeah.
We are always up for proactive conversation.
But I want to see how good I was.
Let me stop you right there. Let me stop you right there. There is no good side to a cop.
There's a good side. Look at this, my left side.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
he's even all lined
I mean,
up.
you got the beard going on. That's cool, but like,
He's got the line up and everything on there.
but
Yeah.
there's no good side to a cop.
There's a good side.
Okay.
It even looks like he lined it up just this
I'll
morning.
tell you where to find.
I'm hoping for my opportunity.
I'll tell you where to find it if you'll answer a couple questions for me. Is that fair?
I'll do what I can. I can't promise anything.
Okay. How many cops have you arrested?
10-4. 1.
One. So you've actually arrested an officer.
Yes.
I'm impressed.
Unfortunately, because that always hurts. But it's part of the job.
It is. But most of the time when you ask a cop how many cops they've arrested, the answer is 0. Because cops tend to cut other cops' breaks. Because you got the Blue Line Brotherhood.
I can't answer or speak for that.
I know you can't.
I do a job. It's a career. So.
You know, and I really got to commend them though on the sheriff's department. I've seen a lot of sheriff's departments that have the blue line still on their cars, and I don't see that here.
You can come be social. You ain't got to be a creeper.
But so, I mean, you can always look up qualified immunity. And
That's the name of the pig.
Is that
The pig's name is Qualified Immunity.
Is it like .com or is it just?
No, just YouTube.
On YouTube, you
Look up Qualified Immunity.
Police, and you should be able to pull something up.
And you'll see us out.
See his channel, my channel.
Yeah, you'll see us out. We've been out. I'm filing a federal lawsuit against New Chicago Police Department for their actions.
Is that
So.
a stabilizer?
Yeah, it's just
is it just
it's a
a
stabilizer. It
stick?
helps me so that I don't gotta sit there and hold on to that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that's all we do. Like I was telling the sergeant inside, like we just basically come out and see if you guys honor our rights. And what we tend to find is younger officers tend to have more understanding of like case law and federal law, where we find a disconnect is generally with older officers, because, you know, guys that have been on the force 30 years, you didn't have a cell phone in your face at every traffic stop 30 years ago. And they're not up to date generally on that case law. And that's like I was trying to argue with the sergeant in there. Also, she says he never said he was here for court. We were here for court, and they were trying to say he's trespassing because we have no official business. Well, if he's here for court, he has official business. And the bottom line is your guys' policy at the jail isn't law. So how do you enforce policy? How do you enforce policy over law?
He wasn't trying to get into the court.
Okay.
Well, once he told me that I couldn't,
yeah, once they said he couldn't,
I'm not going to force my way.
He wasn't trying to pick a fight and get arrested.
Yeah.
But we initially both went in, said we were here for court. They said I could come through, and he had to wait for a supervisor. And then once they said he couldn't come through, he kind of backed off because we're not trying to get arrested. Like, that's not the goal.
I appreciate you being respectful, though. I mean,
But
I understand what you're doing, and then even taking cameras at a court, you have to understand that each court is able to dictate
right,
their-
and we didn't bring our cameras in. We actually left them in the car.
Even the court, they have to, for any type of recording, under Indiana Rules of Trial Procedure, they have to get approval from the Indiana Supreme Court to allow recording.
But that's what we're talking about. Like,
Brush up on it, exactly.
but that's what we're talking about. Like, there's no law that states he can't walk in there in that pig costume. It's your guys' policy. So how do you stop somebody for a policy when law says we can do it? Like, are you going to arrest him if he goes in there and says, I'm going to court? You can't refuse him.
I mean, so,
You just have to
I
talk
could be
to
in
the
the
judge about
lobby
it
all day
at that
long.
point.
But that's what, but that's what I mean is we're trying to break that, because
And I'm fine.
I'm not saying you as an officer would arrest him, but they would have arrested him if he would have refused. And he had every legal right to refuse, because what they're quoting is a policy, and policy isn't law. I mean, it doesn't have a judge's signature on it that says you can't come and watch the court in a pig costume. I guarantee there's no ruling that says that. There might be tomorrow, but there ain't today.
You might need to get me a
There
costume.
probably will be in 5 minutes.
But you get what I'm
I
saying.
get you.
And that's what we're trying to prove is, like, why would a cop arrest him if he's not breaking the law? A policy isn't law.
Because the judge only has authority within their courtroom and the immediate vicinity of the courtroom, not the whole building either. So,
You know, that's just like you can go to the county courthouse and you can walk around and record. You just can't go into the courtroom.
Right.
So your policy says I can't bring in a cell phone. That's not law. So are you guys going to arrest me if I bring in a cell phone and refuse to leave?
Well, it's
You know what I
really-
mean?
You have to look at, because that's a correctional facility. So there's rules, there's procedures and in place for
Safety.
security of
I
corrections.
get that. And I understand that. And I'm not questioning it. Like, we didn't try to push the issue with our phones. We walked up to the door. We saw it. We took our phones back to the car. But, you know, the main issue is the pig suit. Like, quote me a statute that says he can't go through in that outfit to watch court.
Can't.
But yet she's saying he's trespassing.
Look, there's no business. However,
Well, I mean, the preamble
I
of the
don't know
Constitution
example.
gives me a consensual contract notice to my government.
Right.
So that's business enough.
You know, I mean, we can stand here and argue law all day. I'm just on the basic level of, like, he's in this. Quote me a statute that says he can't go to court. Why was he stopped from going to court?
I don't know.
You know, they said initially the mask, which I could get that. But again, that's not law. It's policy. So even if he would have taken the mask off, they still weren't going to let him go through.
Good thing you didn't, because he'd be even colder than that.
Oh, he's warm. He's got clothes on under that, and he's in a fucking pig
Oh, he
suit.
is not. He told me he was.
No, he's warm. I know the heat off, and he had the on the way here. He fucking shut the damn heat off, and we had the window down because he was hot.
At
But
least take the hat off.
Yeah,
or
and
the
that's
hat
all-
off.
and that's
yes,
all my staff.
because we're
And this
when
is
we
the
drive,
bullshit, man.
we figure, like, especially after leaving New Chicago, we
Do you guys
figure.
come all the way here from New Chicago? Or
We-
is this one day trip or?
Well, I come out to South Bend for work every day.
Okay.
So we just scooted on over to show some support for Jim, who's in jail. And we're gonna, while we're here, are you a county officer?
Yes.
Will you take a report for perjury?
Where do you live and where did the offense happen?
The offense happened in Elkhart County,
Okay.
and I do not live in Elkhart County.
Where at?
At the police department.
Elkhart Police Department?
Yep. We want to file a perjury complaint against a police officer.
You will have to file that within Elkhart City. And if their administration will request it with us, then they'll have to talk to us.
They refused to take the complaint.
Because it's against one of their officers, they said conflict of interest, so we had to contact the county or the state.
Because perjury is a level 6 felony.
So I get that.
So it's a level 6 felony.
You will have to contact, and I recommend if you choose to do that, you contact the, I don't know who you spoke to, any type of supervisor.
We talked to Anderson and IA.
I don't know who that is.
It's the head of their internal affairs department. They've had 15 phone calls on it and they won't. Our community ain't just us, you know?
Right.
If you guys would have, we've actually, there was a guy, I'll give you an example. There was a guy arrested in Oklahoma for filming, doing this. The small town cop arrested him, and it got to the point where there was one person answering phones. They shut down the police station. That's how many calls there were.
I don't care if you guys film. Just, I mean, it is what it is. I film.
Right.
You guys film. There's cameras everywhere.
Right. But I mean, that's where we're at. We can't find anybody that's willing to take a perjury report against another officer. We have evidence that an officer lied on a sworn affidavit. We can prove it, in our opinion, without a reasonable doubt. So
the offense happened within the city of Elkhart.
Yes, happened at
have you gone to the police department and talked to non-duty supervisors?
Yeah.
They are very unhelpful.
Have you gone to the police department?
No, not physically.
I talked to them on the phone.
We've called.
Take that step and go to the police department. If not, you can come back and talk to the our administration and take it from there. That's the route I would go.
But you realize, like, here's the thing, and like this is part of the disconnect. Like, I understand what you're saying, but like,
there's jurisdictions. Although we're police officers within the entire state of Indiana, there's jurisdictions that I'm responsible for. There's jurisdictions that they're responsible for.
right. But like,
Well, the
they,
sheriff's department is the highest
it's
law
not
enforcement agency within the county. They're even above the state police.
the
Because, I
issue.
mean, the sheriff's an elected position, and it's
If
a
you want
common
to
law
talk sovereign
position.
citizen status,
What's
yeah,
that?
I understand that.
Yeah, so I mean,
Well, here's-
basically because of that, then I mean they can take the complaint, especially because it's a verified complaint against an Elkhart City officer.
Okay, now
It would be a
shut up.
conflict of interest to file it with the city.
That's my argument. Is like, I'm not talking like an internal complaint. Like, I don't want to file a complaint against you because you looked at me sideways. Like, I want to file a criminal report against an officer. So now.
Officer's name?
Yeah, we have all the information. So now, yeah, we have all the information. We can pull it all up. But here's my argument is like, now I'm telling you I want to file a criminal complaint and you're going to do something else. So like, you as an officer, I'm telling you I have evidence of a felony that was committed. Are you refusing to take a report?
No, I'm not refusing to take the report, but the practice is if it happened within the city, you take it to the city. I've never
Right.
taken,
I under-
incorporated areas, they take it in the unincorporated
I
areas.
understand.
If the city of Elkhart refuses to take and inform the request of our agency, then we take it. We have no issue taking it. We have no request.
Well, I guess the reality is they want to treat it as an internal affairs issue, and we want to treat it as a criminal issue. They want to take it as like a complaint, and we'll slap the guy on the hand and say, "Oh no, don't do that again," if he's found wrong. And we want it to go to the prosecuting attorney to be reviewed for charges.
Have you contacted the prosecution?
No,
Why not?
we haven't. Generally, you file a police report for a felony. You don't just go straight
They
to.
have their own investigators that also do that?
No, I did not know that.
Do you have their own investigators that also
I learn stuff every day. That's the point of being out here.
So contact them. If you get nowhere, I'll help you. You guys have my name. It's on the camera. Do what you can for you, all right?
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir.
But yeah, we can prove the officer lied that arrested Jim. No, the guy that's in jail that we came here, James Jacobson. So the cop said he could smell alcohol standing 5 feet back from the bulletproof glass.
These little light 'em up guys.
Yep.
Okay.
Light 'em up, guy. There you go.
Yep. James. That's who we're here to support. But if you go look at the video from his arrest, you can find it on YouTube if you search his name. The cop's standing back 5 feet on the glass. Jim's 3 or 4 feet on the other side of the glass, and the cop says he smells alcohol on him through bulletproof glass.
See, here's the crux of the perjury is that either you just proved the point is that he's the light 'em up guy, James.
He is, I know.
Okay, so and then in the video that he took the night he was at the LAPD, when he pushed the intercom button outside the door, they addressed him by James. So they knew who was there, who they were talking to. They knew that he was there for aggressive grievances. So with aggressive grievances, the sergeant that arrested him either knew that he was there for aggressive grievances, or he was there for breach of peace, which is not protected because those are fighting words. So it was one or the other. And if he's saying that he knew James, but then he's also saying that he was there conducting a breach of the peace and not for aggressive grievances, then, which is why he filed the charges, he can't have both. He either has to have one or the other.
Yeah, he went
So
there to
either
ask about
police
chalking
one
on the
or
sidewalk,
police the other.
and they arrested him. Chalking about the sidewalk. Chalking on public sidewalk.
I haven't read the report. I have no idea.
Okay.
I didn't even watch that video.
No, what happened is
I
he
haven't
went
watched
up.
that video.
He went up there to ask about chalking, and then the next day he went to the police department to ask about chalking. The next day, mysteriously, a pack of chalk appeared on his porch overnight. Kind of random.
Okay.
When you go to the police department and then chalk shows up on your porch. So kind of think an officer did it. Can't prove it. But so the next day he went back to ask about it again to try to get a clear answer, because first they were trying to say they would charge him with like destruction of property, but chalk washes away. And then they're like, well, one officer's like, well, I wouldn't arrest you, but another officer might. And it's like, well, if we're going to write something on the sidewalk in chalk, we want to know, like, are you going to arrest a kid that writes on the sidewalk? But if I write fuck the police on the sidewalk, are you going to arrest me?
No, I've heard the song before. It's not bad.
But you know, I mean, you get what I'm saying though? Like if I were to come up here in front of that door and write fuck the police in chalk, would I be arrested?
No.
Not by you,
Not by me.
but somebody else may.
It's not. It has to cause damage for criminal mischief.
Right. But that's the thing. That's what he was trying to get clarification on that, because he's saying, well, this cop might arrest you. And that's what we're trying to get, is like transparency. Like, you personally may not arrest me. You're going to laugh it off, go in and get a thing of water and wipe it off the sidewalk when I leave.
He's just going to call janitorial.
You know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the officer that's up there might come out and put me in handcuffs or something. So that's what we're trying to find out. Like, you know, and that's where, like, I guess the disconnect is I mean, law's open to interpretation, obviously, but he was trying to get clarification. They want you to quit talking to us, right?
No, they just keep checking on me.
Making sure we ain't mugged you or something.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where we're at. We wanted clarification from the Elkhart PD that, yes, I can do this, or no, you're saying I can't. And then if you're saying no, then we're going to address it.
Look, you have to understand, you know, the laws are written by legislature, and they're written in such a way that a layperson should be able to understand.
Exactly.
Right.
So, in that, each law has
800 subsections
and what a law enforcement officer can and cannot do, what kind of punishment, punishable by what, you know. And each officer is allowed discretion. But the laws aren't really open. They're kind of open to, they're not really open to interpretation. It is what it is. It's either the offense happened or the offense didn't. However, the discretion is where it comes down.
Well, I understand that, but like, as an example, like,
which I think is a very important.
You can
having discretion is excellent because each situation is unique.
Right. But what I mean by that is, like, it's just like anything else. Like, you could read, you know, Genesis in the Bible. I could read Genesis in the Bible, and we could have two different understandings. I could read, you know, I got a ticket yesterday, and the code they cited was either, I got the code on my phone. I'd have to stop my recording, which I'm not going to do. But
I mean, have you ever ticketed? Okay, normally a person gets ticketed for going too slow. Like if they're going like on a highway, going 30, less than 35 and 55.
I got ticketed yesterday for going too slow in a 20-mile-an-hour zone, with the cop being in front of me. Inside of a little town.
For going too slow.
So I have video. I'm gonna go fight it and beat it. But that's I mean the example of, like, stuff's open to interpretation. Like, if the speed limit's 20 and I'm doing 17, why would you write me a ticket for going too slow?
As long as you're not disrupting the flow of traffic.
I wasn't. It was just me and him on the road. And what it was is we were there recording. He was there with me, and they wanted to know who I was. So they pulled me over and they wanted to write me a bullshit ticket. I got the whole thing on video. I'll beat it. It's no big deal. He says I turned out. You know, he said I turned out from this road and turned onto this road and was going too slow, and I was never even on that road. I have video. Like, what he wrote on his ticket is, and that's the same thing. Like, I'm going to try to get him for perjury because he's signing under the penalty of perjury that this is what happened. And that's what we're trying to do with James. Like, we want to file this officer signed under the penalty of perjury that this is true, and it's not true, and there's video that disputes what this officer wrote in his report.
Well, contact the prosecutor's office. I actually think for that situation, that'd probably be your best course of action.
Okay. Yeah, we can look. I mean, we could do it, but that's the trouble we're running into is most cops don't want to go after other cops. Like, there's the brotherhood, and, you know, I know you're not going to admit it, but like at Elkhart PD, they got the fucking blue line right behind their goddamn station, you know, right down the middle of the road. So, you know, most cops don't want to cross the blue line and go against the grain. So we're trying to weed out the bad cops and, you know, give the good cops that are out here a name, you know. We don't just go out and expose bad cops. When we encounter decent cops, we're like, hey, you know, call into the sheriff's department and give a complaint. Send or compliments, calling and, you know, but same as, like, if you would have been a dick to him and tried to arrest him and shit, we'd have lit it up. Your dispatch would have got bombarded with calls, you know? So, for redress of government. And it don't affect you, but the girls in dispatch get pissed very quickly. You know, we had calls going into New Chicago. It's just one lady in an office, and she was picking up the phone and hanging up on people. People were calling the police station, and she was hanging up on them because they were getting so many calls about how they treated us yesterday. You know, and it's like...
yeah, see, the chief of police over there actually went out before I got there, actually went out and told him that it was illegal for him to be recording a government building,
and he was going to arrest me. So I challenged him and asked him what law he was going to arrest me for, and he goes, we're going to call the prosecuting attorney. And then he never came back out. But yeah, he flat out told me it is illegal to record a government building. Any government building, it's illegal to record. And I'm like, dude, there's a 2010 fucking DHS memo out on this shit that was revised in 2018 on top of numerous case law, you know, that says I'm protected to do what I do. So, you know, but we won't hold you up.
All right, I appreciate you guys. I wish you would have wore a different hat today, though, but that's just my opinion.
It's all right. Just remember, don't run with scissors. Don't kick your dog. Don't beat your wife. Don't beat no inmates.
So it's
I bet that canine.
If you want to find my channel, it's Indy INDY Blue News.
Can I go?
Yeah, I'll walk over here with you.
I bet that canine officer loves your purpose picture.
Oh, I'm sure. I got a sticker on the back of my car that says "Support the police, beat yourself."
Actually, that's pretty funny.
I've had a couple cops ask me where I got it and shit. They find it humorous. So I tell cops all the time, I'm like, if you beat yourself, then I don't have to worry about you beating me. I mean, my wife punched me before I left the house today. That counts, all right?
As long as you're okay, right?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Indy INDY Blue News. Yep. You can find me.
In my channel.
If you go on your computer right now, you'll see yourself live.
What is yours? Nomen Nescio, which is NOMEN space NESCIO.
All right, guys.
So if you go on there now, you'll see yourself live.
You guys, I appreciate it. You guys have a good day.
Yep.
Be safe.
No, we try to be civil.
Drive safe.
Thank you.
Drive into the distance. So.
Is this the first time a pig has ever shown up at your department?
No, we have like 70-some people on the road, so. You guys be safe, all right?
You get the name qualified immunity, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
We've had to explain it before. The lady up there was like, oh, that's cool. And she's like, what's his name? I was like, qualified immunity. She's like, what's that mean? I was like, he's a pig. He can do whatever he wants. Have a good day. Be safe. Car 289. Yeah, 289. Milovich or Milkovich or something? Milovich. Good dude. Good dude. Yeah, I went back in and they had me take my boots off again. And as soon as I got through, Kim came out.
Oh, yeah?
And then they fucking made me take I got a metal credit card in my wallet, so they had to run my wallet twice because I had a metal credit card. Something like that, yeah. Good dude. That dude needs a compliment. Milovich car.
Where did Kim go?
She left.
Oh.
I don't know where she went. She didn't want to get hemmed up with us if we got hemmed up.
Oh.
Yeah, and then I came back out. They're like, oh, the lady cop that asked you to leave, Sergeant whatever her name was. Sergeant Hot Tits.
Sergeant Cutface.
I thought she was pretty good looking.
Yeah, well.
I'll turn off the dinging in a second, guys. I'm tying my fucking boots. They made me untie them and take off my boots to go through the metal detector twice. And then the guy was saying something about they have a credit card knife now. And I was like, dude,
I have one in my wallet.
I've never heard of that.
I have one in my wallet.
So because I had a metal credit card, they fucking stopped me. The first time I got through, that guy apparently didn't do his job.
Apparently not.
But then they come back and I was going through and she's like, oh, Sergeant or Corporal Milovich or whatever has the pig detained out there. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, you got to give him time to walk off the fucking property. I went back in and I was like, I told my animal to hit the road and I'd pick him up while he was walking, and she starts laughing.
Yeah, he came up to me and he was just like, hey man, and then I was eventually just like, so I don't remember what I said. Something about, hey, are you gonna, you plan to arrest me or you plan to fuck with me or something like that? And he was like, no, man.
I think he was just intrigued by the.
I said, so you got some shit to say too, huh? And he's like, no, man, I just wanted to talk.
I figured we're gonna get fallen out of here,
Well,
but maybe not. Yeah, well, I'm not going anyways. I'm gonna let this truck go. Now we got a haul
my fingers
ass
definitely need
defrost.
definitely defrost.
There you go. Open your vents. I'll turn it on up top for a minute. I got it on floor because my feet are cold and your hands are cold. So you got this vent, and if you want to pop that one open, you're welcome. I'll close mine. But there you go, guys. So Jim is on hold for Elkhart City Court. Is the update. I'm sure Kim's gonna go live. They are gonna order a bond reduction, but he has to see Elkhart City Court for the probation violation before the bond reduction even matters. So even if we paid $10,000 cash, we cannot get James out right now until he sees the judge in the other court. But that judge said he should be seeing the other judge in the next couple days, and depending on what that judge does, it'll determine what happens. But he is going to order a bond reduction on what Jim has going on right now in that court. But it doesn't matter until he sees the other judge. So he's still essentially stuck there. Echo, echo, echo.
So what are they reducing his bond to?
They didn't say. They said that they would file the paperwork or whatever. James Jacobson, auditor who was arrested in Elkhart County. So that's the update, guys. Kim will give you more detailed information. I got there right as Jim was going, and then they pulled me out halfway through to take the pig off the property. So then went outside, I told the pig to walk to the road, and he said okay, gave me my keys back. I went back in, and by the time I had taken my shoes off and shit, because I had to take my boots off, they won't wand your boots there, so they made me take my boots off and shit. So alright guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta